and we have to do something. I'm not gonna sit down while the world, you see Donald Trump and Bolsonaro, you see what's happening in the world. I'm not gonna sit down and say, okay, everything is, I have my children, nice, you know? No. I don't know, but it's been a calling from a very long time. My older brother listened to reggae music, Bob Marley and Black Uhuru, and from the time I first heard it, I loved it, the groove and the rhythm. And I think, I mentioned before, growing up in a Jewish home in California, having to travel to temple, studying Hebrew and the Torah was very different than what the kids around me. So reggae music also talked about the children of Israel, talked about Moses, Aaron. So reggae music felt like it was a music for me, something special. So from that time, I fell in love with it, and ever since, you know, it's become a part of my life. I started reggae when I formed Groundation, so that was 1998. I played reggae, of course, myself. I first started to play guitar when I was 12, 13 years old. So I would play, of course, reggae. Reggae was my first love. My father was jazz music, so jazz music was the first music in the house. But then reggae was my first, like, you know, after Michael Jackson and after those ones, reggae music. And music was always a very important thing in the house, in my house. That's a very difficult. That's very difficult. Don Carlos, as a person and a singer and as a Rasta, Don Carlos really has a wonderful spirit. But I mean, Pablo Moses and Cedric Myton and all these great people that we've worked with through the years, as well as musicians. It's been so many. I've learned a lot, and I learned a lot as I have gotten to be able to link with a lot of the Jamaican elders, Horsemouth, of course, and these people, and Flabba. You learn a lot about the music, because reggae music I love, but I also love Rasta. Rasta is a big part of my life as well. So I've learned a lot from those elders who know about the music and the culture. A heavy one, a heavy impact. It's further proof that we're not doing the right things for humanity. We're not honoring people. We're not respecting history, and we don't care about each other in a sense. So it's hurt. It's been a painful experience to see what's taking place on the planet. But yeah, I think that reggae music needed an album, Madness, this record, needed an album to speak about the Palestinian struggle for justice. As there are albums that speak about South Africa, there are albums that speak about Holocaust and these things. This album, Madness, is roots reggae music, Rasta music, for the liberation of Palestine. Yeah, and it just came from the experience. I wasn't thinking of a solo career. It just ended up being a solo experience. Groundation is about the world, energies of the world, you know? But this pilgrimage was not. It was strictly about, you know, there's songs called East Jerusalem, a song called Intifada, a song, these are heavy songs about this Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And this problem is bigger than just that. It's a problem that you still feel throughout North Africa, over into Asia when it comes to Afghanistan and Iran and these places. There's a little bit of a pulse coming from Palestine. It influences all of this. Yeah, stronger. The Groundation story, every album is on a journey, is like a progression, stages of life. And from an album called Here I Am, a narrative began to change. Whereas Young Tree, Each One, Teach One, Hebron Gate, We Free Again, Upon the Bridge, these things is talking about life, but it's using stories and images that are not so clear. After Here I Am, it becomes more of a music about what's happening to us right now. And that brings us to Building an Ark, A Miracle, and The Next Generation. I have plenty of inspiration. For me, I give thanks that inspiration is everywhere. You want to make a song, you want to feel some music and some energies, I'm ready right now, you know? Okay. So that has been a great blessing for me. So I have plans for the future. The next album of Groundation, the next album after that, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, vision, you know? Marcus Garvey said, without vision, the people perish. So it's good in life to imagine yourself in the future. When you stop doing that, you do not get the future. Yeah, well, I mean, it's different now. This is the next generation. So some of the musicians I've known for years, some for only a year or 2 years. This next generation is different. It's coming as a rebirth to the music, and it's for the benefit. The energy needs to be a certain energy to deliver the message. And you see there are black people, there are white people, there are older musicians, there are younger musicians in Groundation, to be grounded as one. So the connection with the musicians must be pure for the spirit to go, because we play music like the album, but on stage we improvise. Try new things, so you must have confidence with each other, and you must have that musical understanding that you're there for each other, you know? So yeah, it's special. I am disciplined in my life. I try to be disciplined with what I eat, with what I drink, with how I physically take care of my body. So I run for miles and miles every day to keep myself and my heart fit. You have to eat right, you know, which means no meat in your diet and things, a lot of vegetables, drinking water, no alcohol, you know, and keep fit physically every day, so that when you go take the stage, you're ready. 2-hour show, 3-hour show, you're ready. It's special. Yeah, I mean, I have always felt that I don't go on the stage to perform a show. Whatever conversation, whatever takes place in the moment is our moment. So I feel that the public feels that energy, that they're here, they're real. I'm not just saying this thing on the mic every time you see the show, I say that one thing, you know? No, it's meant to be a special moment every night. And because of that, I think the people give us a different energy. Yeah, the main message is for our children, and for our children's children, that is the next generation. It's two things. One, have confidence, believe in yourself. You can overcome all obstacles. And two, you have great obstacles in front of you. There are certain things that we're doing in life. Just as I need to be disciplined in my life, we as a people have to be disciplined. So if you see, let's say, that burning fossil fuels puts gases into our atmosphere and heats our planet up, you have to then stop, because you know, right? But we're not. So the next generation, be careful. Though for me personally, I have 3 small children, and we have to do something. I'm not gonna sit down while the world, you see Donald Trump and Bolsonaro, you see what's happening in the world. I'm not gonna sit down and say, okay, everything is, I have my children, nice, you know? No, I need to go in studio. We need to get together as a band and travel the world to put out energy, because the world is not going in the right direction. And a lot of music is either, yo, I'm the best, is the narrative, or jump, party, party. No time for any of those. We have to get real with our situation. Yeah, we have to get real. Yes, man, thank you. Yeah, that was a very surprise and honor. I mean, the music is a very different music. I don't know if you've heard the new album, but it starts with a big band, 12 horns. It begins with 5 saxophones, 4 trumpets, 3 trombones. For me, like as a kid, inspired by Duke Ellington, you know, by these big bands, Count Basie Orchestra and these things. So I always had a vision for a reggae big band. So this album, when you press play, begins with the tenor saxophone, single note, until all 12 notes come in as a crunch, exploding into this song. And I don't begin singing until 2.5 minutes into the song, like an instrumental, you know? And no band would do that but Groundation. And that's not a formula for pop success. So to see people respond and say, hey, yeah, we're gonna give the award because the music is still pushing boundaries and it's still roots reggae, but a lot of music doesn't do that. Yeah. Even how we recorded the album. Next Generation was recorded on the analog tape, 2-inch tape, not digital computers. Musician, console, tape machine, which means you have to play the song together. There's no fix. There's no redo. If you redo, you're erasing your track. And there's no undo. So you have to play it from the beginning to end. We can't fix it. So it means the band has to be ready to play. And today, music is not made like that. Music is made by a producer, makes a drum rhythm, makes a bass, guitar overdub, horn overdub. Nobody was there together. But this album, 2, 3, a band performed from front to back, like back in the 70s. Like how music used to be. We have a lot of work to do, and that's a beautiful thing. Through acknowledging our past and acknowledging the right things that we have the abilities to do, we as humanity, we can shape the future if we choose to do it. So through the music and the message, we're here to promote the idea that we can change humanity for the good. And it's not power and money and who has the biggest and the, you know, it's about the preservation of life and to honor the fact that whether your child comes from France or whether your child comes from Syria, their future is beautiful and bright. New music. Yeah, and more tours. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're working on it as we speak. Okay. Yep.